What Obamacare does is shift this fundamental belief of our founders, that our country was created to make sure that people are free. What Obamacare does for the first time, it creates a broad-based entitlement for every working American, not people on the margins of life, but it takes control of people's lives at a very, very important part, which is their health. And to me, it's a game changer, and it has to be stopped. It's the most important issue that faces this country right now. I think anybody that would suggest that we call a truce on the moral issues doesn't understand what America is all about. America is a country that is based on this concept, on the Declaration of Independence, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Rights come from God, and the first of which is life, the second of which is liberty. Those two concepts really transformed the world because it said that government was going to be limited, allow people to be free, and to pursue their own dreams, to serve their God and to serve their family and community. That is only possible if we have strong families. My father came to this country when he was 8 years old. And when I used to go visit my grandparents, my grandmother didn't speak English. And I always used to ask my dad, "Dad, why don't you teach me Italian?" He said, "Because you're an American, and you need to learn the English language. That's the language of success in America." I know a little bit about beating unbeatable Democratic incumbents. When I ran for the House, I was up against a Democratic incumbent who had gotten 60% in the every election since his first. I beat him. Second election, I got redistricted into a district that was 72% Democrat against a 22-year incumbent, and he left before he wanted to fight against me, and I won that district. So that's the second incumbent I took out of Congress. The third, 1994, ran against an incumbent who'd just beaten the sitting Attorney General by 10 points a couple years before in a state with over 500,000 more registered Democrats and Republicans. I beat him. 3 Democratic incumbents. You want someone who can beat Democratic incumbents in tough times? A lot of people up here can check the boxes and say they have conservative positions, but I've led on every one from social conservative issues, on life and marriage, and I've got the arrows in my back from the mainstream media to prove it. I've been out front on national security issues. I've been out front with your colleague here and my former colleague Jim DeMint on Social Security, on Medicare, on welfare reform. I led on welfare reform, ended the only federal entitlement we've ever ended that I'm aware of. I was the one that carried the water on that. It's not just checking the boxes, it's having the courage to lead.